All right, so 711, because I'm going to scroll down. So if you don't have that written down in your plan book, guys, I'm telling you right now, we're going to check your plan book in a couple weeks. And if you have empty boxes, you will get a progressing on that mastery check, because it should be a bad word, mastery, right? It should be not difficult to open your plan book and say, look, every box is filled in. So Monday and Tuesday should have squiggles. Yesterday, what we said, because I was on a different slide, maybe it's on here. No, I was on a different slides yesterday. So we were revising the test, right? We were working on it, revising. So like you could have written in the box like Chapter 6 Mastery REV for like revision or whatever you write, but it can't be empty, right? No empty boxes. Today's 711. I'm still deciding what we're going to do tomorrow, but I will go ahead and give the first norm of us and like our math class plan book, right? Every day when you come in, plan book is something that at this point I feel like sorry, this is not what it should look like. There we go. I don't know who I was asking for help. But...
me.
Plan book. So plan book is a norm, and you don't need to write this stuff down. I'm just trying to... We had a couple weeks off. You know, I left the country and then came back to the country. But it was a while. It was awesome. But what are some other norms in here? And there's one other thing that I really hope we get real quick. I'll just go around the room, I guess. Jake?
Graph paper and pencil.
Graph paper.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, because if we don't think of graph paper, I have not done my job well enough at this point. So graph paper and pencil, right? Pencil's obvious for every class. Renal, you had your hand up. Graph paper, Patrick?
Not saying that you would.
Ooh.
I was going to say that, but also you didn't fix it. Oh.
Never say it.
The E word being a bad word, which really, what this means, guys, is we're trying to make this a safe space to make mistakes, right? A safe space to, like, experiment with math and, like, play with numbers and, like, not where we're at the risk of somebody saying, oh, that's so easy,
Oh my gosh.
because it's rude. It's offensive, right? It's not a nice word when you're, like, using it to talk down about somebody else. Now, if you're in a team and you say, guys, we've got this, this should be, like, that's different, right? But when you're telling somebody, oh, that problem's easy, it immediately makes the other person feel bad. Gus?
No doing dumb jokes.
What?
Or like saying...
I do that every day.
What I mean is like saying the E word many times just to try and be funny.
Oh, okay. So, like, maturity, right? So, like,
We're not mature, we're in middle school.
we let this class go. We let this class, what?
This is my tweet.
U-R-E.
No, that says that says
And now it says, no, it doesn't. Now it says manure. It's spelled wrong.
No, but
So, yeah, as the teacher tries to make a poop joke, yeah, let's be mature. But guys, really what that means is, like, we can let it go to a certain point as long as we can pull it back in, right? We can have a good time. We can laugh about things. We can make some silly jokes as long as we can then pull it back in and do the math.
I can draw a dragon on mine.
Max can draw a dragon as long as when it's time to do math, it's time to do math. Brenda? Yeah, so, like, I think that even goes beyond of, like, not only appropriate, like, levels of voice, but, like, timing, right? We should probably write this up here. Like, analyze the timing of what you're doing. And that goes all the way down to, like, when you use the restroom. Like, is this important content I don't know how to do? Or are we practicing something I'm comfortable with, right? There's a better time to go to the bathroom. There's a better time to talk with your friends about, hey, are you coming to the basketball game with me tonight? Like, when we're really learning new math, that's not good timing to be doing what Patrick and Jake are doing right now.
That was me. I'm back. I'm sorry.
Gus.
Also, just a quick question. Which way do you write on the back page? Do you write it this way? Or do you write that?
I normally have the plastic part on front, but if you don't like that, then it just keeps the margin a little bit nicer, but I don't really care.
Oh yeah, Mr. Also can't hear it. You're
Con-
wondering why me and Anna invaded your room today. We were getting graph paper and crosswords and...
I assume there was a good reason. Because I have lots of resources in here. Be careful throwing golf balls. They are a dense material.
I like to.
So, one of the other things that I think should be obvious from us, like how we're sitting right now, groups, right? What should be a norm by now, which is why I'm probably going to tell you to move at some point here in a bit, is that we are better when we're together. Like, literally, humans are not meant to be solo creatures. We're better when we're in packs, and we are smarter when, like, no joke, like, humans are better in packs. Most animals are better in packs. And we're smarter when we use our brains together. Max?
I'm in the corner all alone.
I know, somebody should join you.
It wasn't even I wanted to be alone. It was I sat down and no one sat.
I know, you just like the corner, but you're also really far away. Like, I used to have to sit up front so I wouldn't fall asleep. Or, like, in college, that was my strategy, is if you sit in the front, you normally stay awake.
Wait, did a lot of people fall asleep in class?
I mean, 8 a.m. seems really early when you're in college.
Oh.
Most math classes were at 8 a.m. Don't ask me why, but math at 8 a.m. feels early when you're like 19.
8 a.m.
Yeah, I usually wake up at 6.
So, grab the little card that you have, and we're going to take a walk to the family room for a minute.
Would you need a pencil or graph
You
paper?
need nothing but that card.
What is this terrifying stuff?
Oh, yeah, we definitely.
It's something I'm probably going to turn into something else.
This is my brain. I'm wondering.
Rawr. It looks like a giant snake.
No, I did one with the Chinese bread.
I'm right in my cute.
Hi, I'm also right, and I am cute. Connor, you ran into the room. I saw you. And you shut them. You're like, what took you guys so long?
On your graph paper that you most definitely have out, because it's a norm that we would have graph paper out, draw a circle.
What was that accurate?
I'm not good at circles.
Hey,
Hey, you want to
steal my water bottle.
Look at this, guys. Look at this. I got.
You're genius. You have a circle? Oh,
Real quick, I found these on the floor, and I thought they were mine, but I have these, and I don't know what's mine.
I mean, I don't know which one is which either, but I can hang them and put like lost up on the board.
Oh, this must like not
I'll
mine.
put them over my board and I'll indicate lost.
You're going to trace around it. So what, is this 7-1?
Yeah.
711, yes. 711.
Mr. Hudson, I literally accidentally.
Pro
dropped
tip. I started carrying something in my pencil pouch when I was a kid to draw circles because I sucked at drawing circles and it always annoyed me. Or you can steal something from the teacher and use that. Or you can borrow a compass and use that.
Also, these on my desk.
I got
Yeah, I'm
these.
pretty sure these are Max's.
Ready?
Max, is this yours?
Say hello on it.
I mean, it looks like your handwriting. Do I know your handwriting? Not for you.
it's not that bad as Jake's.
So, if we tried to shade this in, would I split my circle like this and say quads and non-quads?
No.
Yep.
But we only had two topics to start. We had quadrilaterals and non-quadrilaterals.
You would use the numbers. You would use the
Ah,
numbers.
but that's not how circle graphs work. I know in elementary school we like to say pie and be like, oh, you slice your pie, the slices. It's a circle graph.
No, why? Because
Which had more, quads or non-quads?
Quads.
Quads had more, so if we have a center, I hate that my circle tool doesn't lead me to center. So, I should do more than half, right?
There's so many.
So maybe something like that, right? Quads
but we're
and non-quads.
not obtuse.
That's a U. It's supposed to be a U. But if we wanted to get accurate with this,
We could use the numbers.
we should probably use some numbers. Right? Now, I thought I handed out all 18, but the math you guys told me, I think we only totaled up to 17.
I feel
And we're missing
There
Lily.
was, yeah, we're missing
Mr.
Lily, I
Hudson,
think.
I feel offended because you put a period and capitalized Q in quads.
Yeah.
Well, but that was the second word over. Okay, whatever.
We didn't have
either.
The end. That's a.
We're just as good as the non-quads.
Actually, wait, never mind.
I forgot I was a quad. I said
So-
social impurity.
So, wait, how many non-quads did we have?
7.
How many quads did we have?
10.
So, if we have 7, oh, gross. If we have 17 total,
Gross number.
Join the others.
I want you to discuss as a team, how could we figure out the degree opening? And we're going to try to use numbers, right? Jake said use numbers, be more accurate. How can we figure out the degree opening for that part of our circle chart?
The circle thing. The circle measure thing.
Max.
Not how can we like measure it, how can we determine what angle it is measured?
Yeah, Max. You're brilliant.
And then measure. Wait, keep on associate myself. Have it's easy. You take this thing.
I love all
I'm
this.
gonna need that. It's a protractor.
As opposed to an amateur tractor.
I love other people that think.
Okay, so I need to do this. Yes. No.
Oh, I had the other non.
Ooh, that felt long.
I had my equilateral triangle left over that I did not realize. I know I could have made it a better number.
We have the equilateral triangle because
Do you even have a circle on your paper?
yes, and I have the
Ooh.
145.
Anna.
145 for me.
What fraction would you use? Let's be nice to the others. Let's talk about the others. The non-quadrilaterals, what fraction could we use to talk about the others?
7 over 7.
Remember when I said Anna at the beginning of asking this question?
Yeah, Patrick.
We could write 7 and then to the 5,000. We could multiply the bottom by the 21.18 and then multiply the top by that.
You are correct. Hey, I'm about to pivot and tell you to not do what I've been telling you to do, because what I'm going to tell you to do is easier. Here's the deal. A lot of our calculations now might as well use a calculator because they're kind of complicated numbers. 7 divided by 17 does not seem like a nice number. Throw that in your calculator, and you get less than half. I don't know exactly what it is. Somebody help me. What point? What? 412. So then, if we want to talk instead of in fractions, but still talking about how we relate like part to whole, what sort of things do we use to relate like a part to a whole, or how much ooh, a percent. Swoop that over 2 times and we get 41%, but I don't even need to do this. I don't even need to convert to percent. I can actually, I'm going to take those back. Roll it back 2 moves. This number that you got in your calculator, and don't round it, right? You can leave the whole number in your calculator. If I want to figure out the degrees that goes here, Max, right? Can you talk me through a next step of how we could work towards getting the degrees of that pie piece?
Multiply by 100
Think.
or 10. No. Yeah.
Similar to when we talk about how many months are in a year. How many?
Don't you dare bring this up again, not in front of everyone.
How many degrees? When I was out there standing in the middle to look around the whole circle.
12.
360.
We're not talking about months in a year now. We're talking about
17.
degrees.
No,
In a
90.
This all relates actually though.
17.
Because the reason that we use the degrees that we use goes back to days in the year, Max. Max, I'm trying to relate things and continue to educate you. How many days are in a year?
365.
Max, they don't know. You're ratting yourself out. You know how many days? You know how many days are in a year?
362.
365, actually.
And 1/2.
A full, well, and 1/4, if you want to be accurate. A full rotation is 360 degrees.
I know that one. You could have just said that.
I did, and then you told me 12, because you weren't listening to the question that I asked. So, as we get into making circle graphs, we need to be able to determine the exact degrees, because then we can grab a compass and open it up that certain amount of degrees, or protractor, my bad. Well, a compass to draw the circle, then protractor to find the degrees. And say, well, what is 0.41 whatever? You should have that number in your calculator. Times it by 360.
It's 148.23529141.
Sorry, round that to a whole degree. It's what?
148.
148.
148.
Which leaves us with over here would be how many degrees?
A lot more.
360 minus 148. So you get
212.
it's 360.
Oh, wait, I meant.
You can't embarrass yourself far more than I've embarrassed myself, Jordan. You're fine.
Because there are 6 months in a year.
You had to.
Hey, what happens in AO stays in AO.
You had to, Amelia.
It's come to AO. Stories happen.
You guys just come to AO. I
Wait, where?
Wait, don't you
Here.
have math?
Here, yeah, it's the last math one.
Wait, is it math one or
It was kind of both because I just didn't leave. But I just came during it.
All right, so Rick and Morty are looking at buying, or I mean, sorry, Nate and Rick are looking at buying a car. And according to an ad in the paper, they found that there were 12 total cars, 9 pickup trucks, 6 SUVs, and 3 minivans for sale in their price range. This was literally a conversation Mr. Smith and I were having this morning about what cars are there for sale. I want you guys to kind of like compute this data. Like, be a computer for a moment. Take all those numbers and kind of like crunch them. See what you can figure out with those numbers. Like, can we figure out some percentages? Could we figure out some reduced fractions? Could we like try to clean up the data they just gave you? This is not homework yet. This is classwork, and then it's going to be homework.
Yeah, there's 30 vehicles in total.
Yeah, you can buy $30.
Oh, this is not the one I want to check out. This is the one where I was testing how the copy machine worked. So I had to like, when it was in the copy machine, this was the top, and then I had it spit out. Don't question my madness.
I'm sure there's method to madness. That's what I always say.
There's normally about 5 methods, and sometimes they don't agree with each other.
That doesn't.
That's when things get complicated.
Oh, I don't like circles. This messed up the whole mode game.
You gotta be able to laugh at yourself, man. Just like, did I talk about Brett in the wedding ceremony?
No.
All right, so I think I forgot to talk about this yesterday because I had a reason in Math 7 to talk about this, and I don't think I had as much reason in here. And I have papers to pass back. I should probably do that. So the wedding that I just officiated, I think we're going to do it for Take a Risk at some point because people have asked to hear the ceremony that I wrote because it has math in it. I did already perform the wedding for Veronica and Brett. But here's the point. To circle this all back to like Max and I having a really good time with each other and being able to laugh at mistakes and things. Guys, you gotta be... Yeah, you hate math lunch, don't you? You gotta be able to laugh at yourself.
If you can't, then you're...
In the middle of this wedding, while they were saying their vows to each other, which are like, I love you because X, Y, Z, right? What Brett meant to say was, if I can be as good of a husband to you as my dad was to mom, relating that he wanted to live up to the example his father set. And in the ceremony, families watching, friends, the whole thing, we're on Zoom because we're in Mexico. He says, if I can be as good of a husband to my dad as he... And he, like, immediately we're all like, like, or you like turn your head and you're like, did I just hear what I heard? And he took a moment and he started laughing. He goes, you know what I meant. Shout out Big Art, because his dad's name is Art. He just laughed it off. It's his wedding ceremony. Guys, you're always going to make mistakes. You got to be able to laugh at them, because otherwise, life is way too serious. So we're having a good time laughing at when I asked Max a really quick question. He said the wrong answer, and it was funny, because it was a funny wrong answer.
And then I did it again.
And then he did it again. He tried to double down and, like, wanted to fight me about it. So this is why I kind of won't let it go. But there are, as you guys said, 30 cars in total. Right? At least if I trust your math.
You should. Try to make sure.
I know.
I am my calculator.
So,
yeah.
I want you now to try to reduce, make it as nice as possible, what portion of the total is each type of vehicle. So, like, how many are cars? And don't just say 12 out of 30. Try to clean it up. Make it nicer. So take a moment with your team. Like, write this stuff down. What? Yes? I don't want answers. Huh? Yeah. This question is an inanimate object, so it has no feelings towards you. We're going to use that here in a moment.
Wait a second.
It'll all make sense. Don't you worry.
Oh, said write stuff down. Where do we write stuff down? Where did this?
We were writing on graph paper. I don't really care where you write this down. You can write it on that paper if you want. We are going to use that for this problem. There's no issue if you write it on that paper. I just don't care where you write it. You can write it on the graph paper or on the handout. I don't care.
Wait a second. Why does it say 12 cars?
Because that's a type of vehicle.
Cars.
Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. It's a type.
But minivans are type of car.
No. That's a misnomer. That's like saying I need a Kleenex. When you say, oh, that's a car, no. A car is a sedan or a coupe.
Really?
Yeah. Car, what you're talking about is vehicle. The word you're thinking of is vehicle. No, car is a type of vehicle. Just like a truck is a type of vehicle. A van is a type of vehicle.
I did not know that.
Well, no,
Cars are essentially like short, right? Every other type of vehicle is normally taller than a car.
no, like,
It's like
Where's my cards?
a Mercedes.
Is a well, it depends. There are Mercedes cars and SUVs, and I don't know if Mercedes has trucks, but I lost my cards.
Oh, they're under a paper. Right there.
Aha! Grant!
Train.
Grant!
Wait, shouldn't you call me? You finished finding them.
No, because random cards are random.
I helped you.
Me and Jake
Find your random cards.
You done? Thanks. Grant, if I try to clean up the fraction for cars, what's it reduced down to? 110? For cars.
He didn't say that. Someone else did.
So it started with 12 out of 30, right, when they asked us what portion, but both 12 and 30 can reduce by 3, so this becomes 4 out of 10. My pickup trucks would have been 9 out of 30, but Jordan, what does it clean up to?
Wait, 30, yeah, 30. I wrote the wrong thing.
30.
30?
We're not talking about percents yet. You're right, like, he's not wrong. We're just not discussing percents yet. SUVs. Gus, what did you get
What?
there?
Huh?
SUVs.
1 second.
1,000.
He said no.
2.
1,000.
Oh,
3, 1,000.
Yes, it's 20%.
Thanks, Gus.
I said 2.
2 over 10. And minivans, Nevin.
Minivans, what are you asking for? Is it fractions or?
Yeah, fractions. Fractions out.
Wow, it's so obvious when we haven't been paying attention until we get called on. The reduced fraction form.
3/30 or 1/10?
Yes, 1/10 would be our reduced fraction form here. Now, using highlighters, colored pencils, whatever you want to. Graph this, like show this using the circle graph I just gave you.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I got it.
I need a highlight colors.
Because the circle's broken up into 10 pieces.
Oh, that's
Ah. It's a little concerning. Sounds like you got a kidney stone or something.
I'm pretty sure Gus does have 2%.
Oh!
Yeah. That's not just me.
Oh no, what did you do in math today? I talked about Gus for kidneys.
This also goes back to me saying you're going to want highlighters for quarter 2.
What?
This goes back to me having said many times that you're going to want highlighters for quarter 2. Or semester 2. Semester 2.
What do pickup trucks actually pick up?
Can you what? I would, sure, but I would not completely fill in. I would like slash across them. If you completely fill in, it's just going to take a bunch of days.
This is the work I need for
Okay.
Oh, another one. Master thing. Good work. It is on there for your whatever you want to do with it, sort of. Like I just can't stand to make copies that are only one-sided. I try to make every copy I make two-sided.
Okay, I just wanted to know if I can use rubbers.
Wait, there's another side?
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
about that.
Yeah, the pickup trucks I think we said were 3 out of 10.
No, wait. Oh, no, I'm saying it's SUVs. Oh, you scared me for a second.
What? He's doing pickup trucks.
Yeah. I got that. I was gonna say that.
And then determine the interior, the central angle. You're going to have to look up here for a moment, probably. Then determine the central angle, which is the angle at the center. Oh, wow. English makes sense sometimes.
What?
The central angle for each type of vehicle.
And how do you do that?
So, for pickup trucks, you talk with your team, figure it out. How many degrees of your circle chart go to pickup trucks? How many degrees go to cars? How many degrees go to minivans? Right? Degrees.
Okay. So I would say
Degrees?
Wait, how many degrees do you have?
multiply this by
What do you mean?
Like,
It's like
a
71 in here right now. No, I only have a bachelor's, plus a bunch of extra classes, but I need to go back and get my master's, because then I would get paid more. Yeah, I'm
My
leaving.
teacher did that while teaching.
I know, unless I take a year off teaching, what else am I supposed to do? Gotta go to school while you're working.
My teacher just, I don't know how she did it, but like she got a master's while teaching.
Yeah, you can, that's what a lot of people do. That's what most people do.
got it.
You just take classes at night.
Yeah, she always looked really good.
Yeah, that's why I'm not looking forward to it. I think I'll probably start this spring.
That's why all teachers. They're all.
Wow.
I feel like all teachers are.
All
tired.
teachers look tired? Way to generalize a whole group of people.
Whoa, I like to do that.
You just have to multiply it by 72.
Hey!
Remember, there are different ways to get to Florida. You don't all have to take the same route.
There are also
Wait, have you ever seen a friend on the senior friend's car like while driving on the road, and it like this thing gets like really weird.
No, it's not. No, it's not. 36.
There are multiple ways to solve this. What?
Me neither.
You're fine. I'm just reminding there are I hear people arguing, and there are multiple ways to solve this.
Ooh, that's cool.
I know, it's
There's a little stripe of green. Stripe. Wait, it's not cheap. Wait, what?
It's just getting ready to
Now the
No,
blues
no,
invaded.
no.
The blues invaded.
I know.
Why don't you just change it to black?
Why black?
Every year our teacher loves black. Exactly. I feel like black. I'm so.
Yeah, there will be so many.
Oh.
In the challenge. Try challenge. 3.14.
Dude, Edison.
Yeah, he got like 200.
He got offense.
Oh my god.
Yo, what? It's all Edison's fault. Wait,
Everything's Edison's fault.
that red right there is Edison's fault.
Like 100.
Yeah.
There was one. There was no who got 200. He memorized 200 and 2 high.
Edison was probably like studying.
The record here was higher than that. Sorry to burst the bubble.
Well, like he was in elementary school, so.
He was in high school.
Oh no, our friend got
All I remember is
All right. Yeah, we do. I mean, come on. Although I think it's on a weekend this year. So I heard some people arguing, or not really arguing, but saying like just use 36, like use 36. Can anyone talk to me about like why people are saying just use 36?
Because 36.
Patrick?
If you take, because there's 10 pieces, if you take 360 and chop it into 10 pieces, then 36 is.
If we took 360, which is the entire rotation around the circle, and chopped it into 10 pieces, my 1/10 section would be 36 degrees. Meaning to figure out our 2/10 sections, it's 72, we just double. To figure out our 3/10 section, we triple. 108. You guys gotta speak up, we're all wearing masks.
Okay.
And to figure out our 4/10.
144.
What? Dogs, cats, pizza? Degrees.
Microphone.
no, because that's
Degrees.
Agree.
So, as we work through circle chart problems or circle graph problems, we're going to go back and forth between what is the degrees, what is the portion, what is the percent.
Put that back up.
So,
Please put that back up. Please. Oh, I know. Thank you.
Gracias, amigo.
you guys. I know you can recycle your shape. Please don't just have it drop on the ground. That's not cool.
You and oh, I'm sorry.
We can recycle our shape.
Yeah, you can recycle your shape if you want. You can't earlier.
Everybody do the homework.
Everyone clap
You
your
gotta
hands.
win this. You gotta win this.
Oh wait,
Do your
we
homework.
recycled this shape.
I would hang on to that for now.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Jake has to do the contest.
So, I am not, well, first off, I'm not going to repeat myself. I am not going to warn you on what homework collection is the tiebreaker. So what that means is everyone just needs to be as motivated as you can be, because one of these soon-to-be upcoming days, I will tally up the completed homeworks, and that'll be our tiebreaker, but I'm not going to tell you when. So 711, if we stick to our standard rules, wouldn't be due till Monday, right? So you got till Monday to get 711 done, but I just gave you all three homework, 711, 12, and 13. So if you want to work ahead, work ahead.
Everyone get motivated.
You're asking a specific to you question, but I bet you can figure out the answer.
No,
Everyone
down
get
and get
motivated.
monkey cramp.
All right, get out of here, friends.